Greetings, Lover Fear here. So I did posting for video for half the zodiacs. Tried to do all 12 and the energy drain was just too much. So moving on to the second half. This is going to be for Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. I am going to try and do these daily, and so if I need to split them up, obviously that will be noted. These are progression, advice type of readings, general readings. Sometimes relationships are showing up and how to move forward or through the situation. Yesterday, several showed relationships showing up as separating, people getting involved in third parties and whatnot, and what to do with those. So these aren't specifically love readings, so whatever shows up, shows up. I do tend to go with whatever the energy, but I found that this particular deck, which is the Osho Zen Tarot deck, if anyone's interested, works really well for these style readings. So instead of switching decks for each of the energies, I'm going to just use this one. And these are intended to be for you, yourself. They are collective, so whatever the energy pulls. And if the message is not for you, then check out any of the other tarot readers on YouTube. But obviously other parties do show up, and so whatever messages are coming through, that's what is coming through. So I don't worry too much about cross watchers or whatnot, since these are not specifically love readings or relationship readings. They are for you to move forward from whatever situation you are in the present moment, and help you navigate through that so that you have a happier, healthier, more abundant life. All right, so without further ado, we're going to move on to Cancer. So the things we're going to look at for Cancer is our proper English would be helpful, wouldn't it? What area of life, Cancer's life, needs to be reborn, transformed, worked on? So this is for Cancer for Tuesday, August 6th. Cancer for Tuesday, August 6th. What is in Cancer's life that needs to be transformed? Schizophrenia, disorganization. And what is the heart's desire in order to be in the perfect path? Heart's desire. In your inner self, your highest self, heart's desire to be in the right path. Desire to be on the right path. Cancer. Interesting. I might have to actually pull the book for that one. That needs to be released. Whoa. Wow, that was quick. I may be redoing this. This is not... Okay. What can be salvaged in this situation? What can be salvaged in this situation, please? Answer for 6. Thank you. And what is that to forgive for Cancer? Back to yourself. What is that to forgive? And what grace is there in this situation? What grace is there? And what is the work that's needed? What kind of work can Cancer expect? So politics. I'm going to put you guys on pause for a second. Okay. I just had to do some confirmation on this particular card, the politics card. So what came out for what needs to be transformed is schizophrenia. And for what's in the heart is politics, and that's one I had to check on. And I was getting the energy, but getting it to incorporate into the reading, but I get it now. Participation for what's release. Creativity is what can be salvaged. Change, or end of a cycle, is what is left to forgive. And the grace is breakthrough. And the work is patience. So basically what I'm getting for Cancers is this schizophrenia. It's a disorganization. It's an imbalance in the mind and thoughts scattered, which actually kind of goes with this politics and participation. The energy I'm getting from this is that there is a desire to be maybe something you're not in order to engage with or participate in something or with someone to reach a certain level of acceptance. Only it's not your true and genuine self. You want to be whatever it is that's desired by something or someone outside of you. And this is really not a very healthy energy to be in, so I would take a really good look at that. And it may be due to this scattered kind of thinking, this too much in the head, having sort of I feel very back and forth. Like there's, I want to be pleasant and nice, and I want this to be accepted and well received, but at the same time there's kind of this competitive, envious kind of energy, like, you know, and they do flip-flop. It's not that either is necessarily disingenuous to the moment, but it's disingenuous to who you actually are, which would explain, especially for a Cancer. My sun sign is Cancer, so we're not typically in this type of energy. We're pretty genuine and pretty real with our feelings, but some situations that we really want that acceptance, we can overgive and we can flip-flop. We can, you know, kind of have this in the mind fickleness, especially if there's any kind of uncertainty. And it does feel like something like this would create a lot of doubt and fear and uncertainty and insecurity. So, you know, maybe look at the situations and how much do you actually want to participate in something, to be a part of, to be in collaboration with, if this is what it's creating for you. So what can be salvaged from this, though, is you can take some of that energy and work through it and process it in some kind of creative form. This is also in the traditional tarot Empress card. So it is sort of a maturing of energy. It is coming into your highest self. Even though it's not showing, I do feel like there's a tower energy in here somewhere. In fact, let's see if that comes out. It's not part of the spread, but let's see if something like that does show up. Or something else that may clarify. What is this other energy in between creativity and schizophrenia? What is the other energy that is present? What goes in? Whoa. That was a whole lot of cards that just flew out onto the floor. Okay, what is this other energy that goes from this schizophrenic politics to creativity to Empress energy? What is the step in between? Please, what is the step in between, please? Sorrow. Anything else? Okay. Yeah, okay. So so first we have sorrow. So what that tells me is that there's kind of a releasing that occurs, that there's a sadness, there is a pain in something, and it might be in this effort to participate. If you're trying that hard, then maybe there's some form of rejection or non-acceptance. Harmony, you notice it's a 10, which is an end of a cycle. This would normally be a 10 of Cups, ultimate fulfillment. In this particular case, the energy of this card is the harmony with the self, going within and, getting at peace with this situation, allowing this period of mourning if needed. And sometimes these things, if it's a general social situation or a work situation, sometimes these sorts of things can actually hurt our feelings, but look at that, look at why it's hurting your feelings, if that's the case. What are you making it mean about yourself? And then we have the Rebel, which is, so the Rebel is basically the equivalent of the Emperor, and I'm actually going to read the last line because it actually is in perfect alignment with this energy here. So the actual description in the book is, and the Rebel, the Emperor is somebody who is highly spiritual, highly enlightened, very balanced within, and you can see that, every color, there's no particular theme of color or design. It's all kind of present in there. So it's a very balanced type of energy. And creativity is the Empress. So this is the Emperor and the Empress. If this were a love reading, this would be, a divine pair. This would be a very, very strong soul connection. And if that resonates for you, then that's what resonates. But don't sacrifice yourself, even for this kind of connection. But what it says is, the enlightened man is the greatest stranger in the world. He does not seem to belong to anyone. No organization confines him, no community, no society, no nation. And that goes for an individual too. I do feel like this is more of a collective type of energy, like this is maybe a work environment, school environment. It doesn't really feel like a direct and personal relationship. So the energy in between here and the Empress energy and the change, which is an end to a cycle, which would be this transformation right here. I mean, this is a total transformation here. Comes up the sorrow, the harmony, the Emperor, balancing the energy that ends this cycle of, this schizophrenic, unhealthy, unserving kind of energy. And then you come to breakthrough. There's your transformation. And the universe is suggesting, be patient with yourself, be compassionate, be kind, be loving. This is a difficult transition. There is a lot involved, and even though it may be showing up in a specific situation or environment, this is a major, major transition. I mean, we have four major arcana with the Emperor and the Empress joined. So, this could be an end to or a transformation within, if it is a personal and direct relationship. It could be an end to this cycle that this situation is in, and to encourage you, Cancer, to be patient with yourself, to go through this process, and ultimately it will benefit both parties if this is a more personal type of partnership. I mean, this is an extreme transformation here. So Cancers, get ready. If this has not started already, if this is not your current situation, some of you may be experiencing this major shift for your energy and the call to make this transformation. Of course, you always do have choice. You can stay in this energy if you like, which is really, I mean, look at these two cards. Those are pretty, not very pleasant looking cards. I mean, you don't even have to feel the energy of them. And the energy is darker than the cards, but I mean, you do have the option of participating and staying in that space, always. It's always a choice. But would you rather be in that energy or in this one? Or, as the case with this, or as the case may be, you know, potentially in some kind of divinely guided union. You know, this in traditional tarot, it's 10 of Cups. Ultimate emotional fulfillment. So, there you go, Cancer. And now we move on to Leo. Yes, I have notes. Not all readers do, but this one does. Pardon me, guys. Leo, I'm getting a lot of warmth, which is kind of unusual since we're out of your season and it's moving into cooler weather, but I'm getting a lot of very warm, almost spasmy. Like I felt it all the way up my arms. So I don't know if that means that you're not getting it moving enough, or if restraint. grinding. There may be some self-sabotage. That's what it is. It felt like straining against some sort of bondage, holding the arms. Maybe feeling powerless in some way. We'll see. That's what the cards have to say. So for Leo, October 6th, what area of life needs deeper transformation? For Leo, what area of life needs transformation, rebirth? Advice, fear. Leo, needs transformation and rebirth. Leo. Interesting. Okay. And what is in the heart space? Just going to put them on the correct path. What is in the heart space? Put them on the correct path. Soul essence level, please. Leo for October 6th. What is in the heart space to put Leo on the correct heart space path? Soul essence. What is in the heart space, please? Sorrow is coming out a lot. It's like processing, maybe. Processing loss. What needs to be released for Leo October 6th? What needs to be released, please? Interesting. Okay. What can be salvaged? They keep flying out, guys. I don't even know where it went. Oh, there it is. Oh, and this deck does not have reversals in case you guys have not figured that out. Okay. And what is left to forgive? Leo, October 6th. What is left to forgive, please? What is left to forgive for Leo, October 6th? Maybe there's quite a few Cancer, Leo, cuspers, or Cancer, Leo, Cancers with Leo rising. Since we're seeing some of the same energy here, differently, but grace in this situation. Wow. All right. I'm going to need to spend a moment with this one, guys. Yeah, that's right. And what is needing work? Okay, so what is the work that is needed that can be anticipated for this situation? Alright. Whoa. That one really wanted to come out. I look at the bottom of the deck. With this deck, it doesn't usually resonate. I'm not sure where that goes yet. So I'm going to set that aside. Transformation, past lives. It's death in traditional tarot. I gotcha. Okay. For a small number of people, the energy I'm getting from these 3 cards as a reader, this is probably one of the most difficult type of reading. And the card says past lives, but it's actually death. And I feel like for some of you, especially with COVID and whatnot, this is a literal death, a literal passing on. And that energy comes through as also a medium very strongly. So, of course, there's sorrow. And it feels like the mourning process has not been completed, which would explain why this is in the heart space. In order to move forward is to be able to process through this and to empty oneself of the emotions that are trapped and stuck. With the schizophrenia card here, what needs to be forgiven? Some may be illness related, but some of these may be mental illness related. So this process, and I am kind of jumping around the reading a little bit for what is relevant to the aspect of the reading I'm on. The grace. This is laziness. In this particular case, I don't feel the card actually depicts laziness, but I feel like in this particular case, this is actually, now I know where this card goes. This card actually is about taking the time to give yourself this space, even though it might feel like laziness, and it may very well. It may feel like you're being lazy, and it may also be that there's a level of avoidance of doing the work that's needed in order to move through the sorrow, the allowing of it, to move through that pain. As far as the work goes, projections. So a lot of times, unfortunately, people take their pain and we will put our perceptions of what we are currently experiencing on others and find fault and blame and accusation, and it can even be positive projections. The point is that it's not what actually is. And when we get to this state of emptiness, of nothingness in this situation, that will open up a lot more possibilities, a lot more options. There's a couple of different messages regarding these possibilities. So one of them is it opens it up within. This is also an encouragement to have some faith in the possibilities of what comes after the body passes. adventure. See the light? Your loved one is on a new adventure. I'm not getting anyone in particular, but as a medium, I can see all these people here. This is a collective energy, and I am picking up on a collective energy for this situation, for this transition. And if you look, you can see the light is bright and it's rainbowish and it's pleasant and comforting and warm. There is something that comes after. And your loved one is safe and they are comforted and they are warm. So for those that are in this situation, know that without a doubt. I'm getting way too many, which actually hasn't happened in a while. I'm getting all of these, well, not literally, but from the card. But collectively, I'm getting a lot of this and a lot of this. So they've just begun a different experience than the one they had while they were here. So that's the two messages I'm getting about the possibilities, is that you get through this healing process, this heaviness, the sorrow. It might feel like that there's nothing left to feel. There is. There's plenty left to feel. So the other interpretation for the schizophrenia is not that necessarily loss was due to a mental illness, but that the loss was very painful and traumatic, and it's got you in a mental state that could be an avoidance of your pain. It really needs to be released and emptied and allowed. And I know that's a frightening proposition, because many times when we go through a major loss in our lives, and it doesn't matter by what means, any major loss, any major change that we perceive as being negative, that causes a lot of pain, it can seem impossible. It feels like the emotions are going to overwhelm and never stop. This is assurance that they do. There is a point of emptiness, of release. That doesn't mean you stop feeling. It doesn't mean you stop appreciating or valuing. But it is a release. This energy schizophrenia and the projections that can keep us stuck and unhappy and keep us in that negative placement for much longer than necessary. Mourning has no timeline. Everyone experiences pain. Suffering, however, is what occurs when we don't release. That's the prolonged pain. Whether pain is meant to last for you for a week, a month, a year, 3 years, it is what it is for you. But it's when we go past that time frame that is individual that it becomes suffering and we get stuck. But allow this process and new possibilities will open up. So I hope that helps someone. Oh, bottom of the deck. Success. Celebration. Achievement. So there is more ahead. I just have to get through this. And know that your loved ones are safe. They're good. They're well. Even though they're not here in body. They're fine. So I hope that helps someone. And next, we move on to Virgo. Virgo. Energies. Virgos are interesting characters. I would not be shocked to see a whole lot of swords, Virgos, always in your heads. But we shall see when we get into your energy, Virgo. See what you got going on. Leaves came out of Virgo season, so this might actually be a rejuvenating period for you. That would be cool to see. An empowering period. Alright, Virgos. What you got for me, guys? Cool. I'm getting a lot of really strong Native American. I want to say maybe Sioux or Cherokee. I know they're completely different tribes. But someone has really strong and direct lineage to Native American. I'm seeing, I think I have somebody's ancestor maybe coming through. An ancestor, yeah, not that far removed even. Maybe a cousin, uncle, I don't know tribal order, but it feels like somebody that was like somewhere between, I'm seeing something like either warrior or chief kind of costuming. And they're doing some kind of traditional solo tribal dance. And I feel like it's a message, but I can't, because I'm not familiar, and I do apologize. I can't translate it, decode it, but there's I can see it and almost hear it. Somebody kind of young. So it's not like a tribal elder, it's somebody pretty young, male. And they're waiting, they're just staring at me, trying to wait for me to figure out the message, but unfortunately I know these things have meaning, and it feels like a direct message to someone. Send me a message if I can pick up on it again. If that resonates for any Virgos out there that may be watching. I can try to get you more information. When I saw garb-wise, it looked like there's red under the eyes, which, as far as I know, is often a war or warrior kind of face painting, but I don't feel like it's in that war sort of thing. It does have very much a warrior type energy. He does. Cacta is what I'm getting. Cacta Indian. Maybe you guys can educate me. Alright, Virgo. So somebody out there is Indian. So what needs reborn for the Virgos out there? We're 6. What needs rebirth, transformation for Virgos, please? Rebirth, transformation. Not so sure about that one. Yeah, I don't think so. It was a slip of the hand. It's not. Energy's not right. It needs transformation for Virgo. If it was right, it'll come out again. It needs rebirth or transformation for the Virgos for October 6th. Transformation, please. What comes out? Rebirth. All right. What is the heart's desire to get to this, to be on the correct path? What is in the heart, the soul essence for Virgos, October 6th? What is in the heart and soul essence of the, maybe someone's got Leo strongly in their chart, or some other fire energy? Heart, essence, soul essence, what puts them on the right path? What is in their Oh, wow. Abundance. You guys really want to talk. You know when that happens. Sorry. I'm having an interesting evening of it, let me tell you. Whoever that is, if the Native American person is trying to come through very strongly again. This isn't a channeling session, guys. What do I need to let go? What does Virgo need to release? And what can be salvaged? What can be salvaged? Virgo, October 6th. What's left to forgive for Virgo, October 6th? This is another transformation reading. It looks like it feels like this is more perspective. How you're perceiving things. Ooh, got a twofer. That's interesting. Oh, okay. And what grace is available for Virgo? For October 6th, what grace is available? And what is the work? Slip of the hand again. Or it will come back out. What is the work that we're going to... Yeah. Oh, okay. I gotcha. All right, so what needs to be transformed is rebirth. This would normally be a Ten of Swords, a betrayal. But that is clearly not the energy of this card. It's more like taming the beast within. Yeah. Impulsive, passionate, maybe angry sometimes. So you can kind of see how the child is sort of morphed from a lion, and he's got a flute. He's just got a very calm down, whereas the lion's very angry. And the lion is kind of running behind on top of this camel. It's just sort of chill. So you have all the energies in here. Earth, air, fire, water. They're all here. The fire is pretty predominant. So maybe you're connecting with a fire sign. Maybe this is about a fire sign. Maybe it's somewhere in your chart. What is in your heart? Your essence, abundance. Postponement is all about self-sabotage. We have change, end of a cycle. Exhaustion and trust came out together. Grace, isolation, and what to work on is sharing. And if you look, sharing and abundance look an awful lot alike. A lot of rainbowy, kind of free-spirited, hippie-ish, fun, colorful, bright. And we have postponement. Isolation, which is not the Hermit card, by the way. And then exhaustion and trust together. So what I'm getting out of this is that there is a whole lot available to you, Virgo. Ready for you, waiting for you. But for whatever reason, you are self-sabotaging all of it. And there is an isolation is your grace. Look very closely, there's a face in there. And tears. It's time to come out of this emotional freeze. Sharing could be any number of things. It could be with a friend, a loved one, a professional, if needed, which is fine. If that's what is needed to help process through, then that's what's needed. It's going to be to your benefit. It's only going to help you. Exhaustion and trust. As this is in the placement of what is left to forgive. Because I feel like you've trusted the wrong people. And you didn't trust yourself. And there's a lot of conflict, inner conflict, and a lot of heartache. And it's, you want to trust, but there's like just this internal battle going on. Not trusting divine, not trusting yourself, not trusting others. And it's just the lack of trust, the lack of availability of others, your lack of emotional availability is both the cause and the result of this lack of trust. And it is blocking your abundance. It is blocking your growth and development and inner peace, your ability to soothe yourself from within. And what's salvageable still, there's a lot of support and encouragement to end this situation. This is completely internal. This isn't about anyone else or any other situation other than what is going on within you. And because there is fear and this self-imposed isolation because of this exhaustion and trust, everything's kind of at a standstill. You know, the recommendation here, what to work on, sharing. And I don't feel like this is sharing as in giving others something. I think this is giving you yourself something, and that is the freedom and ability. And there are people there that love you and support you and want to help you through this process, but there is this delay, this hesitation, this if you look, see how gray and black and white and colorless. This is the lens that's being looked through when the option exists. You see how this rainbow coloring here? You guys see that? That rainbow coloring? It is right here with sharing and with abundance. That option is there. It is present. It is waiting for you. So get out of this postponement. Get out of your self-imposed isolation, out of your emotional frozenness. Allow whatever the pain is to unblock you. Allow it to unblock so you can access, so that you can go through this process of ending this cycle, ending this period, resulting in change. The ability, we've got 2 change cards here. Rebirth and end of a cycle. So it's up to you. I mean, you can see in the middle of this one, yin-yang balance. And right now, there is no balance. There's a whole lot of trust issues in all kinds of ways, and the exhaustion of being here. Because you're not letting anybody help. You are not allowing anyone to work with you. And you're delaying your own progress and growth and development and healing. So, you know, if you want to stay in this energy right here, if you want to stay isolated, alone, everything's gray and miserable and depressing and emotionally exhausted and drained, rather than getting into these energies here, here, here. I mean, if you prefer this exhaustion and isolation just to avoid, hey, you're welcome to it. You are absolutely welcome to it. But if it were me, I'd kind of rather be in that energy. It's all about choice, guys, love or fear. You can either be afraid of it, or you can go through the process of healing, getting whatever it is you need to get out of it, and finding your abundance and your happiness within and your balance within. So that's all I've got for Virgo at the moment. Now to get into Libra. See who get for Libra for tomorrow, October 6th. I think that ancestor warrior person. Let's see if I can get. Okay, Virgo, I think I understand after the reading. This is definitely a very I'm not giving me a label, but it's like a warrior type person. Like I said, male, young, maybe early to mid 30s. They are an ancestor. I feel like a cousin or uncle. Obviously, a couple generations removed. Maybe only even two, because it doesn't feel like someone that's passed on all that long ago. And this is a literal relation of someone's. But I feel like the energy I'm getting, even though they're not like verbally communicating, it's all body language and energy. And unfortunately, I don't understand the body language. Kind of kneeling, like in a rocky type, like what might be potentially Arizona or the base of the Rocky Mountains or something like that. Just a fairly rocky, jutty kind of terrain. And I feel like they want you to be reminded of the blood that runs through you, that you have the blood of a warrior. Yes, okay. You have the blood of a warrior. You have the strength, the endurance, the resilience. Warriors don't back down. And it feels like the message is kind of like, it's not that they don't feel fear, they proceed anyway. They face fear. It's not so much a conquering, it's not overpowering, it's more of a facing it, because fear, I don't know, he's giving me the energy of conquering. Yeah, of course, warrior. Combative. Geez, sorry. Just calling it like it again. The energy that's coming through now is about peace within, so that there is peace with all of that around. The oneness, the balance of nature and the elements, and to honor that balance, but to honor the natural balance, you have to honor the internal balance. You have to be able to connect with and communicate with nature. I feel like he wants you to maybe return to the land of your ancestors. There is that will bring gifts to you. I'm not sure if literal gifts or spiritual gifts. I have a feeling spiritual gifts, insight. Lion, not like Leo lion, but like the actual manifest physical strength of a lion showing up within, from within, to harness the power of the lion. How does he know about lions? Here. Oh, like okay, like mountain lion. So it gotta be somewhat Midwestern-ish. I think that's the gist of the message. Is there's something else, but it's weaker. There's some kind of I can't. It's trying to show me something that looks. It has a feeling of like a doorway or entryway. Only it's like a post, but there's only one. Like a wooden pole, but somehow it's some kind of entryway or doorway, gateway. Yeah. And I'm seeing really bright light, like maybe ascension, like maybe. I'm not sure, guys. If I could show it to you, maybe somebody would understand it. But it's kind of hard to explain. Yeah, it's like one pole or post, and somehow that's. It might be some kind of distance marker or indicator that we're close to where you're supposed to be. I'm so sorry. Okay, Libra. Libra, sorry for the interruption there to start your reading. Alright, Mr. Crocodile Indian, you're going to have to leave me be for a while. There is a lot of growth going on right now. I'm getting kind of the same thing for Libra, where it's just a processing of a lot of things. Some things more prevalent for some people than others, but let's see what the collective energy has to say for Libra, October 6th, 2020. What are messages for Libra for October 6th, 2020? What needs transformation or rebirth? What needs transformation or rebirth for Libra? Okay. What is an essence energy, the heart energy, if it's on the correct path? To get them on the correct path. What's in the heart place? What is the heart's desire to get them on the correct path?
desire to be on the path, please. Wow, Libra, you guys are shocker. Libra. I know quite a few Libras, and I swear they're fixed energies. Talk to me, Libra. Not being very communicative. Thank you. Okay. And what needs to be released for Libra? Wow. Okay. What can be salvaged? What's to be salvaged? What's to be salvaged? Wow. Guys, come on. What's to be salvaged? That's interesting. What is to be forgiven for Libra? I would have figured that out. We have to clarify that. To forgive Libra. Another shuffle. All right. What's left to forgive Libra? Number 6. What's left to forgive Libra? Okay. What is a grace for Libra? Institution. What is a grace for Libra? Wow. Okay. And what needs work for Libra? I gotcha. I get it. It's all housing and success card too. What needs work? What needs work for Libra? Yep. Shocker. And suppression, of course. Checking on this source. I actually, for as long as I've had this deck, I have never actually pulled that card. Or had it come out, rather. That's going to be fire. I'm sure. Yep. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought it was. All right. So, Libra, the cards that came out for heart transformation is success in the heart is the source. What needs to be released, postponement, what can be salvaged is guilt. What's to be forgiven is laziness. Grace is the mind. And work is the miser. So really everything revolves around the perception of the value of success. What it means. What it means about you specifically. There is only one positive card here, which is in your energy, in your essence, source energy, pure energy. And it's there, it's waiting for you, but all these other things are blocks to it. And all these blocks are there because your first priority is success. And however you define success with all this other stuff here is not in your best interest. It's not in your highest good. It's something external rather than internal. This is your success. However, your perception of success is to procrastinate, to feel guilty about procrastinating, to then feel lazy, to get up all in your head about it, and then it's a burden, and the cycle starts all over again. Pretty direct, pretty short and sweet, and it's saying that what can be salvaged is guilt. Somehow you are carrying this as a point of pride, or to try and use it to combat postponement and laziness. Maybe to try and get yourself motivated. And it's not helping because all it's doing is creating burden, stressing you out, slowly eating you from the inside out, instead of giving you everything else you need, which is right there inside you. This is the only card you need. All this other stuff, this is success. Not all this. So whatever your perception is of this is probably materialistic, income, job, things, toys, objects, people. Honey, that ain't it. This is. And your true self is begging for it. So get rid of all this other crap. You don't need it. I mean, easier said than done. It means a lot of healing. It means a lot of getting out of your head. Start here, as a matter of fact. What needs to be transformed, reborn? Start here. Redefine what success means. Look within rather than without. What does success mean to you at its truest level? Not what does it look like, on the outside to other people or even to you? What's it look like inside? What is it you really want? Because it's not this stuff, because this stuff, look at this. Does any of this look like something you actually want? You guys see that? These are horrible cards, guys. Is this anything you actually want in your life? In your space, in your being? It isn't, because this is what your energy is asking for. That's what your energy is saying. Source, energy, light, peace, abundance, fulfillment. Redefine success. Redefine it. And then co-create it. Because obviously, this stuff is not what you actually want. So you can keep it. Like I've told everyone else, you are welcome to keep it. It's all about choice. You can connect to yourself within and have real success, or you can keep the rest of that nonsense. I know which one I pick. So that's it for you, Libra. Pretty short, sweet, direct to the point. Scorpio. What have we got for Scorpio? Cheers, guys. Scorpio is always interesting energy. Bad reputation. One of the most powerful of zodiacs. One of the most secretive. That's why they have a bad reputation. Sorry, Scorps. I'm not saying you guys are, but you keep yourselves pretty locked up tight. Naturally. Kind of almost opposite of Cancer. You have those same outer shells, and you feel things just as deeply and just as truly, just as intuitively. But you guys like to hang back and watch. And observe. Alright. Scorpio. My secretive friends, what do we have? Huh. Getting creepy crawlies. Scorpio season, Halloween. And something else. There's a, I'm not sure if it's a shadow energy or if it's some of the stuff between dimensions I'm trying to come through. Feels more like a shadow energy. Maybe in the form of a person or stuck to, attached to a person. And I don't mean normal shadow like what we have within. I mean like an actual external shadow energy. Can't tell what it is though. So Scorpios, you guys might want to be on the energetic lookout. But in the meantime, what area of life does Scorpio need to be born, to transform, to improve? What is the rebirth message for Scorpio? Getting a lot of the same cards. Oh, Scorpios, are you being stingy? We're about to find out. Heart's desire for proper path. What is the soul essence? Oh, maybe not. We'll see. And what needs to be released for Scorpio? Oh boy. Oh, wow. Okay. What can be salvaged? What can be salvaged, please? What is there to be forgiven? I was afraid of that. Grace is there? Grace, please, for Scorpio. This is happening a lot right now. Grace, please. Oh boy. Wow. Okay. And what is the luck, please? Major. Oh, this is gonna be... All right. Another difficult reading. I'm getting two different messages, actually. Okay, it's not quite as... All right, for a couple, not for most, not for the majority. There's maybe a couple Scorpios or somebody connected to a Scorpio, that there's a third party. And that third party is a soul connection of some type. Death card, which is Scorpio energy, a figure. So the relationship you're in might just be out of a sense of duty and obligation. This is obviously a strength card, Leo. But the actual card is conditioning. It's about social conditioning, beliefs and values of those around us that we were raised with. This is the primary reason that I say that for some, there's a third party. And there is, you're going to have to make a choice. I mean, this connection is, it's a past life connection. But what's to work on is control. And so having to choose. Completion. It's a final ending. It's your grace. It's your gift. So, you know, we've got a sharing card with the Lovers. In celebration, or Three of Cups, which would, since we have the Lovers right next to it, that implies third party. This other person, it feels like, completes you. It's a very strong connection. And it, yeah, basically one. So if you ascribe to the twin flame theory, that's the level of connection I'm getting. So there's that. So the person you're dealing with, the third party, it could be any of the signs. There's water, there's fire. Actually, I'm seeing mostly water sign. So maybe another water sign that either you're in the connection with that is out of conditioning, or in this, we'll call it divine connection. For the majority, this one does not apply. For the majority, this is not a third-party connection, but rather just simply a divine connection that you were sharing with someone, and it is fulfilling. It's what's in your heart, is that happiness, that joy, that celebration. Grace is completion. It makes you feel whole and complete. What's to release? Friendliness. It's good. I'm getting a couple of different messages for this one too. One is maybe one of you is flirting a little too much. The other one is that maybe there's an attachment aspect to this situation, and that's creating a need to control things, maybe control that person or control certain aspects of the situation, and a need to release that and recognize this other person as your balanced and equal partner, co-creator, co-worker, collaborator, team member, rather than this energy here, this control, this need to rule the roost, if you will, or whatever it is. Release some of that. So in regards to the first messaging, where this is a third-party situation, the call is to choose to end one of these connections. With this energy, that this is someone that you are in a one-on-one relationship with. it is a very, 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 very strong past life connection. This is in what's left to forgive placement, so maybe there also could have been, maybe one of you did go outside the relationship at one point. So it's time to let go. Maybe there was, something early on in the relationship and that hasn't been released. Maybe that's where this control comes in. And for what needs to be transformed with the sharing, I think that may lie in these cards and positions. The sharing of equality and balance rather than trying to hold the majority. And then this, as well as this friendliness, maybe there's some level of, I do feel like maybe there's some oversharing that may occur in directions that you really don't want to entertain, because this person is that strong connection. They do make you happy. They do make you feel like this is what you want. You do want to celebrate in this space with this person, and you know that, and you feel fulfilled. Like, there is no need to keep looking, so stop looking. That's really all I got for you, Scorpio. I mean, it looks like a great connection. It's just, you have these couple of things to work on. Maybe something in the past where someone stepped outside for this aspect, because this is what's to forgive. So, at some point, maybe you just need to forgive each other for past transgressions generally. Maybe there's a need to connect with your soul energy and forgive some event in the past life. But whatever it is, really, this is a great relationship. For those in the third party, it is also a great relationship, but one or the other. You can choose to stay in this state of obligation and commitment. Yes, understand that there is a commitment there, but these are all major arcanas, which means is divinely intervened on to get out of that. This is also a death card, your energy, the Lovers, completion, complete the cycle. This is the final card in a tarot deck. It is the final ending. So this is a very strong energy of let this go. Or top of the deck was morality. Let this go. Either way. It's up to you. If where you're at in this situation feels fulfilling, then let the lover go. If the lover feels fulfilling, then let the existing partner go. Because all you're doing is hurting yourself and both of those other two parties. So that's all I've got for you, Scorpio. I hope it helps, gives some guidance, and yes, it can be difficult to make that kind of decision. But it's the only right and fair thing to do. Last up, Sagittarius. What is in store for Sagittarius for October 6th? I cannot believe I don't know a single Sagittarius, at least not that I know of. Sagittarius. And you know, the thing about Sagittarius is they are like the World card in the King of a Tarot deck. They are that crossover between an end and a beginning. Alright, Sagittarius. Let's see what we got for you. This is a long one. I did not anticipate so much messaging. Alright, Sagittarius. Maybe? Yeah, I'm getting moths, like or maybe a message here for somebody kind of in the southwest-ish, the really big moths. I think they're in the southwest. What are they called? Moon moths, maybe? Moon moths. An interesting full moon. Not sure what any of that means. Maybe somebody's hiding something, or going through, maybe isolating for a purpose of transformation. It could be Cancer energy. It's hard to tell. I guess we'll find out, won't we? All right. And that would be a form of transformation, wouldn't it? Rebirth for Sagittarius. Transformation. Birth. What is needed for Sagittarius for October 6th? Trust. Interesting. And what is in the essence of the space? The soul energy. To get them on the right path. What is in the essence of energy? Soul. needs to be released for Sagittarius? What needs to be released for Sagittarius? Wow, you guys are currently going through a massive ascension. Wow, okay. What can be salvaged? Yeah. Salvaged. And what needs to be forgiven for Sagittarius, by Sagittarius, for Sagittarius, from Sagittarius? Interesting. Wow. There's a grace for Sagittarius. Okay. And what needs to be worked on for Sagittarius? That's got to be a lesson. There's got to be some kind of lesson coming in, or ascension, because this is a major ascension process for someone. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Alright. Well, someone out there that is a Sagittarius is on a massive ascension journey. What needs transformation or rebirth is trust. I'm actually going to go a little bit backwards because it's going to make more sense that way. In the grace is guilt, and what needs to be worked on is isolation. Now, unfortunately, I kind of understand this, or fortunately. When you are on a major ascension process, it can be very, very challenging. It can be very isolating, feel very outside, and the divine energy that flows through, especially if you're what might be called a late bloomer, can be so powerful that there's a lot of difficulty in trusting the self and the divine. There's guilt about that because you know you're not trusting yourself and the divine. And it's also very isolating. It can be very difficult to connect, especially during the transformation process, the ascension process, when you're this deep in it. So I feel like these are blessings in disguise, so to speak. Handling the guilt and the isolation and the self-trust, interest in the divine and the higher self. These are like the last things to conquer for the rest of this process. You know, an acceptance and appreciation, a value of what comes in, and recognition of the path that you are on. So what's in the heart is the master. This is like the highest level of the spiritual ascension process. This is This is it, right here. So I feel like this is the path you're on. Whoever this is probably a very specific message for one person, which, you know, I'm a messenger. What's released is awareness. And I feel like this is not inner awareness. This is not connecting with the self, even though that's what the card would suggest. I think it's more awareness of like almost a hypersensitivity to this process, more like a releasing of the awareness of these things in order to accept and appreciate and value the space that you're moving into. It's like not focusing on it, just allowing it to be. What can be salvaged is sharing the gifts, talents, whatever your purpose is, which if you are this far into the journey, you should have your purpose by now. Innocence is it's a very old man with a very gentle, kind, warm presence. You would think this is not something to let go of or forgive necessarily, but I think in this case it's sort of, one, it represents the self-denial that may be occurring. So it's kind of a naivete, being the older gentleman. You may be a late bloomer. And so just kind of not realizing what moving into this space would occur. So it's just kind of this, how did I not realize this sooner kind of energy. So that's one message. The other one is more about the general, the majority of people are not moving into this kind of energy at this time. And there's a recognition of that, and there's an awareness of that, and it can feel like some people are blind, ignorant, what have you. This is not a disparagement on people in general. This is how it can occur because there's such a direct connection. For they know not what they do, to quote the Bible. I forgive them, my Father, for they know not what they do. So what's to forgive? They know not what they do. So, I would be shocked if this were more than one Saggy out there, but if there is, I would really like to find out who this is for, this particular reading. Yeah, this is definitely a challenge here. All of these, they are also gifts. And it's probably one of the biggest challenges to accept this space, to be willing to share in it, your purpose, and to kind of release not illusions per se, but more like ego illusions that most people live in a state of. It can be very frustrating when you can see what is going on at a much deeper level. It can feel very frustrating, and it can create the space of isolation, because it's like, who do I connect with? How do I, and it can be very lonely. And this is not the hermit isolation, this is loneliness. This is being stuck and trapped in your emotions and feeling deeply alone. So if this is you, reach out. Those of us in this space, we're all going to understand, and it is beneficial for us to connect. So that's it. That's all the readings. I will start over, hopefully, if all goes well, tomorrow evening for the next set. Again. And this weekend, do a larger reading for each sign individually. With that said, do keep in mind for the readings that have a little bit more present work, you can pick your energy. You can pick your direction. And no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what sign you are, you can always choose what state you want to be in. What kind of space do you want to exist in? Do you want success and abundance and happiness and joy? Or do you want to stay in those heavier, unhappy, suffering states? I mean, these energies, we become so used to them, so familiar with them, that they become comfortable. We stop noticing how unhappy we are because we've been in this space for so long. And it shuts out all the options and possibilities. It ends up being a burden that we're numb to, that we've ceased to recognize. Creates a lot of stress, blocks us from understanding ourselves. We settle for less, and instead we can create whatever the hell we want. Doesn't mean you just, wish in one hand and poop in the other. You still have to listen to yourself, your inner voice, your authentic self, your true self. So, and it's not easy, but it is very doable, and it is very, very worth it. So, best wishes, blessings, and you decide. Stay in a state of fear, return to your inner truth in a state of love.